Terminologies in Python, Part 2. In our previous lecture, we talked of some basic terminologies in Python. Now let's take some more. A lambda is a function without a name, an inline function made of a single expression. Some languages follow the LBYL style, look before you leap. This tests for preconditions before making calls or lookups. A list is a mutable and heterogeneous sequence of objects. A list comprehension is a compact way to create it. A loader loads a module. Mapping is a container object that supports arbitrary key lookups. The meta pathfinder is a finder returned by a search of sys.metapath. And a meta class is a class of a class. It takes a name, a dictionary, and a list of base classes and creates a class from these. A method is a function defined inside a class body. Each method takes the self parameter. And the method resolution order is the order in which the interpreter searches base classes when we look a member up. Modules are files holding similar Python code together in one place. And a module spec is a namespace holding import related information. The MRO is the method resolution order, and mutables are objects that can change their values. Named tuples let us access values using labels instead of indices. And namespaces prevent name collisions, provide modularity, and are implemented as dictionaries. A namespace package is a PEP 420 package that contains subpackages. Nested scope refers to an object in an enclosing definition. An object is an instance of a class and it has properties and behavior. A package is a container for modules and subpackages. Parameters are the arguments a function or method takes in its definition. A path entry is a single location on the import path. And the path entry finder is a finder returned by a callable on sys.pathhooks. The path entry hook is a callable on the sys.pathhook list. The path-based finder is a default meta pathfinder. A path-like object is an object that represents a system file path. And a portion is a set of files in a single directory that contribute to a namespace package. Positional arguments are not followed by an equal sign and a default value. The provisional API is an API excluded from the standard library's backwards compatibility guarantees. This is the nickname for the Python 3.x release line. A Pythonic approach is one that follows the different philosophies of Python. A qualified name is a dotted name that shows us the path from a module's global scope to a class, method, or function defined in that module. The reference count is the number of references to an object, and a regular package is a traditional package. Slots is a declaration inside a class for saving memory by pre-declaring space for instance attributes. A sequence is an iterable accessing elements efficiently with integer indices. A single dispatch is a generic function dispatch where a single argument's type decides the implementation. A slice is an object holding a part of a collection. And Python implicitly calls special methods to execute operations. Statements are blocks of code, and struct sequences are tuples with named elements. We also use codecs to encode Unicode strings to bytes. Text files can read and write string objects. When we delimit strings with 3 pairs of single or double quotes, we create docstrings. The type function tells us the type of an object. Universal newlines deal with where a line ends. \n for Unix, \r\n for Windows, and \r for Mac. A variable annotation is a type metadata value associated with a class attribute or a module global variable. Virtual environments are isolated and let users and applications exclusively install and upgrade Python distribution packages. A virtual machine is a computer virtually defined by software. And The Zen of Python is a beautiful poem by Tim Peters. This explains the philosophies of Python and can be accessed by typing import this in the interpreter. And with this, we close our discussion on the basic terminologies in Python.